Hello, and welcome to this very special final episode of the Phoenix Conversations for 2025. I'm Lucy Makara, and today is a meaningful one for me. It's a moment of reflection, celebration, gratitude, and looking ahead to the new year with a sense of possibility I can feel right down to my bones. Before we begin, thank you for joining me in these last days of December, a time when the world is quiet, the year is nearly spent, and we find ourselves standing between what has been and what might be. And today I want to share something deeply personal, but also public and very exciting, something I've waited a long time to talk about. So let's begin with this. As of today, it is officially public that I have been awarded an MBE, Member of the Order of the British Empire, in the New Year's Honours List 2026. The citation reads, Founder Business Book Awards, Services to Publishing and Diversity. When the letter first arrived, I stared at it in complete disbelief. In fact, although the heavy official letter said Cabinet Office, I thought it must be a tax demand or something less than pleasant. I had to read it a couple of times to make sure it was real. And then when it sank in, I felt a slow wave of astonishment and gratitude and emotion. Because this honour isn't just about me, it's about a movement. One I didn't plan, but one I absolutely could not ignore when it called me forward. And that story begins 7 years ago at the very first Business Book Awards. If you followed my work, you might have heard about this moment before. We held the inaugural Business Book Awards with enormous excitement and a little bit of trepidation. We were very clear that these awards were going to be accessible to authors who had taken any route to publication via traditional or hybrid publishers or self-publishing their books. The 10 women and 10 men who made up the expert judging panel had chosen their winners for each category and the overall Business Book of the Year award. We celebrated every entry, every author, every book. But as the winners were revealed, something became glaringly obvious. Every single one of the 11 winning authors was a white man. The event photos showed me, the founder, as the only woman surrounded by a black and white sea of men in tuxedos. And it wasn't that the winners didn't deserve their awards, they absolutely did. The issue was the pipeline, the pool. Where were the women? Where were the voices of different backgrounds, perspectives, and lived experiences? I checked back and realised very starkly that we received half as many entries from women as from men. Less than a third of the shortlisted books were by female authors. And when I looked, I saw that even at Rethink Press, we were publishing more male-authored titles than female. Wider research revealed that far fewer women were writing and publishing business books, not because they lacked expertise, but because of confidence gaps, time pressures, structural values, societal messaging, and a lack of role models and encouragement. And I thought, this has to change. That moment lit a fire under me, a phoenix fire as it turns out. To understand and explain what was happening, I wrote a book of one's own, exploring why women weren't writing business books at the same rate as men, and how transformational it could be for them if they did. The research I did was fascinating, the stories were powerful, and the message was clear. Women had extraordinary expertise, they just needed support, community, and permission to step into authorship. So I created women-only book writing programs, affectionately known as ABOO, the acronym of a book of one's own. And these programs grew faster, were more popular and more successful than I ever expected. My ABOO network grew to over 2,000 women. Women writing their books, women wanting to write their books, women finding their voice, women stepping into visibility, women realising, yes, I have something to say and it matters. That community changed lives. It certainly changed mine. I spoke about the need for women to write their books on podcasts, on stages, in articles, interviews, the media, and through the platform of the Business Book Awards. It worked. By the third Business Book Awards, we received equal numbers of entries from men and women authors. Equal numbers were shortlisted and category winners. I even received awards myself for the work I was doing for women in business and publishing. When the Black Lives Matter movement took off, I made sure the Business Book Awards championed authors from diverse backgrounds who often suffered from the same lack of confidence, belief in their own credibility, and fear of criticism that women did. Those early writing groups evolved into my mastermind work, and this year they transformed again into the Mission Mastermind. Because the pattern was unmistakable. The women I loved working with, the women who rose, wrote, created, and reinvented, were united by mission, a purpose, a message, a drive to contribute something meaningful. Mission is what fuels reinvention. Mission is what lifts women into visibility, and mission is what brings us together now in this next chapter. All of these threads, the diversity campaign, the writing movement, the hundreds of authors I've mentored, the personal reinventions I've lived through, slowly began to form a new idea, a bigger idea, a theory, a philosophy of later life rising, of not fading but igniting, of getting younger, more curious, more vibrant, more alive as we get older. That idea became the Phoenix Theory. It's not just a book, although I'm thrilled to announce today that the book is coming. It's also a lens through which to see ourselves differently. And it became the beating heart behind this podcast, the Phoenix Conversations, a space for stories of renewal, a space for honest, courageous conversations, a space where reinvention is normal, joyful, and deeply human. And as if all of this rising wasn't enough, there's another announcement, one that aligns beautifully with everything I've built and believed in. I am now a partner of the Advantage Media Company that incorporates Forbes book publishing and a range of other authority businesses. This means stepping into a broader leadership role in the world of publishing and entrepreneurship, and supporting an even larger community of experts and business people to elevate their voices through books, speaking, and podcasts. It feels like the perfect next step, a place to bring together my experience, my mission, my passion for words and communication, and my commitment to diversity and visibility. Another Phoenix moment, another rising. And of course, none of this happened alone. I want to acknowledge a few exceptional people. Saf Ali, who has supported the Business Book Awards both personally and financially since their inception. Kasim Chowdhury and Brad Edwards, the team who made all the background structure and the events happen for the Business Book Awards. Joe Gregory, my co-founder of Rethink Press, we began this journey 14 years ago, and his wisdom and partnership have been foundational. Daniel Priestley of Dent Global and the Key Person of Influence program, who invited me to be his publish mentor 12 years ago and has championed me ever since. Jonathan Farrar, the tech genius behind Book Magic AI, whose creativity, brilliance, and warmth make innovation feel effortless and has extended the accessibility of our writing program. And Michaela Brown, who has worked alongside me for 7 years on women's projects and co-hosts the Mission Mastermind and Mission Magic. Her heart and insight are woven through every part of the work we do, and I believe she coordinated my nomination for a King's Award. To each of you, thank you. So here we are on the threshold of a brand new year, a year that will bring new conversations, new ideas, new movements, and new rises. For me, 2026 will be the year of the Phoenix Theory moving into the world, expanding the Phoenix Conversations, growing Book Magic AI, deepening the Mission Mastermind, supporting a wider community through the Advantage Media Company, and helping more people than ever before articulate their expertise and share it with the world. So, my question for you, what wants to rise in you in 2026? Facile resolutions, not pressure to deliver or business goals, just a gentle, curious invitation. What is flickering quietly inside you, waiting for you to bring it into the light? What is calling your name? What feels ready, even if only a little, to begin? Thank you for being with me this year. Thank you for listening. Thank you for rising with me. This honour, this MBE, is shared with all of you, with every woman who has ever written a book, every author who has stepped into their expertise, every person who has dared to reinvent themselves. I'm looking forward to sharing the next chapter with you. Happy New Year. And as always, here's to rising. If you're enjoying the Phoenix Conversations podcast, please do subscribe and follow on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Due to the gift of my husband's unpronounceable and unusual name, I am the only Lucy Macara on the internet. And check out my new website, lucymacara.com, coming shortly. If you'd like me to speak at your event or group, get in touch. I've got lots of powerful concepts and great stories to share for every audience. Signing off now for the first time as Lucy Macara, MB.